Things are falling apart. That's why I say this center is not holding. We've got to hold this country together. So this 700, there must be an accounting system away from government, because remember, the cause of these problems, a lot of people, many good men and women inside this government, but there are people who are sitting there, known thieves or suspected ones or unknown ones. You need a proper, independent accounting mechanism so that we can talk about cost cutting, cost control, cost containment insofar as this dialogue is concerned. Otherwise, we can end up with not just a chicken egg, but with a huge ostrich egg in our face. And if this one fails, God save us all. Because then the dialogue of the streets will take place. So I've seen that. I'm not threatening, I'm just observing. I'm scared of the dialogue of the streets, because it comes with pangas, with guns, with lawlessness. July, it showed us. It was just an exercise, just a small indicator, and things have gone worse. Therefore, if we are not mindful about what can be the outcome if this dialogue doesn't go well, then we have learned nothing from history.
The minister and them are blaming. So let's get to the truth of it. It's just that people must understand it's frustrating when you want action right now. General Mkhwanazi is blaming the minister and them are blaming. So let's get to the truth of it. It's just that people must understand it's frustrating when you want action right now and you want things to happen. But the thing is so delicate that I'm telling you, what is going to come out of that? South Africans must be ready. I'm also going to testify at the commission, because I know things. If they call me, I'm going. About these guns in the Western Cape that kills our people. This one is not get your popcorn ready. Go and get the popcorn factory ready, because the corruption is going to come out of there. Had every gang boss of every cartel in the world, always when you hear they're being arrested in South Africa, they are here. What are these people doing here? I want to be very clear on this question. What you must understand is that I don't know the new police minister. And we want to see how his work will be. We'll support him. We'll give him our best. But people misunderstood this whole thing of a commission. The problems in SEPS needs a commission. SEPS is fallen in the hands of gangsters. SEPS is a crime den. You have drug dealers in the Western Cape telling you, no, we control the police. Colonel Kina was shot dead. It's coming from within the police. So the president did right by having a commission, because South Africans are not ready for what's going to come out of there. It's a crime den. They have nationalized our police force, the criminals. And I think that was the right step. The police, new police minister, will get all our support. And as far as General Mkhwanazi is concerned, I've got a praise and a criticism. The praise I have for General Mkhwanazi is that he has really, I'm glad that he spoke up. What I'm not happy about is the press conference with guns, people with masks. We are not a rebel country here. That give rebel. And you might praise him now, but tomorrow, somebody less genuine than General Mkhwanazi will also call a press conference from the army with masks, and that's how coups happen. You cannot be happy when, not in South Africa, we're not that type of a country, where people are standing with masks and guns at the press conference. So I want to congratulate the president for saying, let's open this thing up, the whole country must see. And whoever must be guilty must go to jail. Whoever is guilty should go to jail. So people say, yeah, the president just wants commissions. This thing needs a commission. Because all the guns that shoot the people in the Western Cape come from the police.
There's no single factory in Western Cape that manufacture drugs. Those are the consumers. All drugs are being produced in Gauteng and get distributed outside. That's why you send the soldiers with so much money to go and stop drugs in Western Cape. Till today, they never gave you any drug bust that is big for 2 million rands. Nothing. You must remove the Minister of Police to install the confidence of our people on SAPS. It is very important that the minister goes. He is very new on the job, but already it's messed up. And his interference right at the beginning, you saw and you'll realize that this is a man who came with vested interest into the institution. We want to build confidence of that institution because it's important to fight crime. But you can't fight crime with the corrupt police officers who are linked to gangsterism and all manner of things. People say Malema is not saying anything now when we don't understand why is he quiet. I'm quiet because I've been saying this. I've been saying politicians are in the pockets of drug cartels, politicians are involved with gangsters, and that's why we cannot punish crime.
In the year 2024, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as the Provincial Commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this political killings task team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision was a cause for the disbandment letter of this team because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng organized crime unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country.
On behalf of my colleagues here, I see my colleague Edwin Cameron is here and Albie Sachs. When I say at no stage did the Constitutional Court and the broader judiciary seek to protect the individual members of the court at the expense of principle. We've stuck our necks out. No wonder the criticism has at times been as severe as it has been against us. What are you doing to ensure that this constitution works for every South African? Therefore, because of the critical role that the Constitutional Court and the judiciary in general has to play in transforming our society through the Constitution, we owe it to this country and generations to come to make sure that we don't have a compromised judiciary. We have got to be interested to know how people get to be appointed to office. You have got to observe carefully. You have got to watch carefully how people are being interviewed, because there are times when you can tell certain people are being shielded from being asked critical questions. And the question is, when that happens, who is doing it and what is the agenda? How can you have an independent and competent judge or magistrate who, when questions are sought to be put to him or her, people build a scrum around him or her? Any competent judge or magistrate or a candidate aspiring to be appointed to that position must demonstrate his or her capacity by fielding the toughest of questions. But if people are now caucusing about a certain candidate, you must know there is an attempt to corrupt the judiciary. You must know there is an attempt to capture the judiciary. And a captured judiciary will never be able to use the Constitution as an instrument of transformation. Because any captured member of the judiciary will simply be told or will know in advance when so and so are involved, I better know my place. Or when certain issues are involved, well, the decision is known in advance. So and so can't lose. Be on the lookout, be vigilant, and be forceful in making uncomfortable anybody who seeks to establish a pliable judiciary. Madiba himself said, our constitutional democracy hinges on the judiciary. Guard the judiciary jealously. And another way of doing so is being very critical of us when we do wrong things. Madiba said, hope I'll find the quotation having not been reading. Well, I remember it anyway. He said, one of the things we needed to do as judges is to give reasons for our decisions that an ordinary man can understand. You must be worried when you read a judgment and you are struggling to make sense of it. Judges were enjoined by Madiba, and they ought to know, we ought to know, that partly we account through our judgments to the public. Now, if you write in such a way that the public can't even understand what you are doing, what kind of accountability is that? We don't write for lawyers, we don't account to lawyers only, we account to every South African citizen. So you must watch us carefully. Who do we associate with the most? Who are we uncomfortably or indecently friendly to? And check judgments when those people are involved. Does it make sense? Madiba said on the occasion of inaugurating the Constitutional Court, you must be true to your oath. Don't be rubber stamps. We are the ones who administer an oath to the President, the Deputy President, ministers, deputies, and members of Parliament. And we do so expecting them to be loyal to their affirmation or oath of office. How hypocritical can it be if we expect people before they take office in line with the Constitution to commit to doing what the Constitution demands of them when we don't do the same thing ourselves? So please watch us closely. Otherwise, our constitutional democracy is gone. I'm not saying there is something wrong with the judges, by the way. No. I have absolute confidence in us. But complacency can set in. And remember, we wield extensive powers as the South African judiciary. I'm tempted to say I'm not aware of any judiciary anywhere in the world that wields the kind of power that we do. There is almost nothing we cannot do through the instrumentality of the Constitution. Now, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Madiba said, speaking to the Constitutional Court judges, constitutionalism means that no office and no institution can be higher than the law. The highest and the most humble in the land, all without exception, owe allegiance to the same document, the same principles. It does not matter whether you are black or white, male or female, young or old, whether you speak Tswana or Afrikaans, whether you are rich or poor, or ride in a smart new car or walk barefoot, whether you wear a uniform or are locked up in a cell. We all have certain basic rights, and those fundamental rights are set out in the Constitution.
Family, I'm back again. This is a family channel, and the family, what I have realized in this video, I mix people who really care about the country, who understand what is at stake, who understand the corruption that is going on within the police force and the courts, judiciary and members of parliament, lawmakers. These people have said a mouthful. Mackenzie said it all when he talked about what MKHWANAZI has done. He does recommend what MKHWANAZI has done to expose this, because nobody wanted to expose this, but people knew that there was something going on. But because people are scared, MKHWANAZI being the bravest, and he has braved the storm. Let me talk about Tokyo Sewale. Tokyo Sewale, at some point, he was on 702 with Clement Manyatel. He said something that it never leaves my mind. Every time I think about him, I always, whenever I create a video, wherever he fits, I will fit him. When he was asked by Clement Manyatel a question of the 700 million that is supposed to go into the dialogue, knowing very well the NC members are thieves. You know, he said, it is a pity because people even stole money for Mandela's funeral, steal money for hospitals, having a leader who has got no backbone. And he said, the biggest thing that he said that really stuck with me, he said the dialogue of the street will kick in when everything has failed. There will be pangas, there will be bush knives, there will be everything. He said this thing before what MKHWANAZI has said. This was like a prophecy from him, saying that, looking at the future as to how things, or how ANC handle things. Because the masses that put these people in the office are the most dangerous people who can make their own dialogue, which is the street dialogue. And MKHWANAZI exposed all this kind of shenanigans now. And what he prophesies, because I will say that was a prophecy from Tokyo Sewale. Because when you see things before they happen, he reminds me of Malema. Because most things Malema has said, they are coming into fruition now. He talked about bridges that will fall. You need to understand that if you are in power, running the government as a president with your own cabinet, you need to pull out all the infrastructure maps and understand which one expires first. That needs to attention. He said this long time ago, madam. We see now, at some point there's no water, there's this, there's no electricity. He said this thing before they happen, because he's got this giraffe view. So now, what MKHWANAZI did, everybody was expecting Malema to talk. And he just asked a simple question, and he's been asked by the journalists, that what is your take on what is going on, or whatever MKHWANAZI said? He simply said, I have said, I don't see no reason why I should talk about these things, because I said them a long time ago. To keep on repeating one and the same thing to people who have got no ears to listen, it doesn't make sense. Okay, let me leave Malema. Let me come back to Gayton Mackenzie. Gayton Mackenzie see MKHWANAZI, that he has done something good. But he criticized him on something that I don't see it the way that is his own opinion. But my own opinion is, he himself, Mackenzie, is talking about the cartel, that they are here. They are controlling the police. They've got power to control the police. What would have stopped them? That is my question to Mackenzie. If those guns were not there, what would have stopped those people to attack Mkwanazi in that press conference, because it was live on TV. If they saw that there were no guns, it was easy for them to attack. But seeing the guns, they could not attack, because Mkwanazi understood that he's fighting a bigger war than any other war that you would think of that is happening in the country. We can see the guns, but Mkwanazi did not see the guns. He saw the bigger picture, because what he was about to deliver in that press conference, he was touching the nerves and he was touching the untouchables. Imagine a minister involved in this cartel seeing Mkwanazi addressing the nation live and seeing that there are no guns there. He would have sent the cartels to go and attack Mkwanazi before everything is messed up. But Mkwanazi, being brilliant, he understood that if he doesn't do this, this might cause the other police lives. Maybe he will survive. But what about the others who were in that press conference? Because if the cartels comes, because it's taking bread from their mouth now. Because they feel like they have guts to run the country, using the minister, using whoever in the country, for them to continue gain power, the untouchable ones. Let us forget about that now. Let us come to the vindication of all the speakers, including the former judge, Mkhweng. What he has said there in his speech, it all goes to what Mkwanazi is talking about that is happening in the country. All the speakers that spoke there, Malema, Mackenzie, Tokyo Sewali, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, did I count Mackenzie, Julius Malema and Mkhweng? All these people, they said the same thing, and they are vindicating what Mkwanazi has just dropped in that press conference that he did. That everybody now is running, and all the guilty are in their corners, trying to figure out what next now, what move we can do. Because they didn't expect what Mkwanazi did. I just want to say, congratulations to Mkwanazi. May the Lord save him for what he has done. Because not for him, in the next few coming years, we'll have no country. Mackenzie knew, they told Mackenzie about all these things, but he didn't blow the whistle. He had advantage. He is a minister of sport. He is close to the president. Why not? Why didn't he do it? We can blame Mkwanazi as much as we want, but Mkwanazi understood who was he dealing with, because the country, he understood it's no more where we think the country is, but it's in the wrong hands of certain people. And above all, the minister has been implicated in this. As we talk now, he has been put on leave so that the investigation can go on, including his partner, who has been told to stay home and not to go Sibia, whoever is Sibia or whatever he is. He's been told to stay home. That's Sibia. He's got a lot to tell the country. I'm still going to make another video about him, because he was the first to be in the scene of crime where Senzo Meyiwa's life was deleted. But he hasn't told the country how the scene of crime was cleaned, who is being protected there. We can't have such police. He can try to deny things now, because we don't know what is next for him, but he's still going to be exposed, because even the interview he did, he was exposing himself more. I think the best thing with him is to just shut his mouth and wait for what is coming, because he will be surprised what is going to come on his way. Family, I will not talk much. I'm going to drop this video here. Please drop your comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to Mkwanazi. Let's all keep Mkwanazi in our prayers, as he has brought a country that was already gone without anybody noticing. It was shifting under our feet. Bravo, 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 family.